Ladies and gentlemen, I want to talk to you today about the incredible, undeniable, life-changing power of positive affirmations. You see, the words we speak are like seeds. When we plant them in our hearts and minds, they take root, they grow, and they shape the very course of our lives. Many of us have spent years believing lies. Lies that say, I'm not good enough, I'll never succeed, or I'm just not meant for happiness. But I'm here to tell you today, it's time to break those chains. It's time to rise up and start speaking life over yourself, because what you declare over your life matters. The great book tells us that life and death are in the power of the tongue. That means every word you speak is either building you up or tearing you down. It's either leading you toward victory or pulling you deeper into defeat. What are you speaking over your life today? If you want to see change, if you want to step into a new level of joy, success, and peace, then you must start speaking it. Declare, I am strong, I am capable, I am blessed beyond measure. I walk in favor, doors of opportunity are opening for me. I am filled with purpose and my future is bright. Oh, my friends, when you speak words of faith, your mind begins to believe them. When you declare truth, your actions start aligning with your destiny. And when you hold fast to these affirmations, your life will transform before your very eyes. Some of you have been speaking words of doubt for too long. It's time to stop saying, I can't, and start saying, with every challenge, I grow stronger. Stop saying, I'll never be happy, and start declaring, joy is my portion, and nothing can take it away. You are not weak. You are powerful. You are not defeated. You are victorious. You are not broken. You are being renewed, restored, and transformed. My friends, the moment you change your words, you change your life. Start today. Speak life, speak hope, speak victory, and watch as the impossible becomes possible. The words we speak are more powerful than we often realize. They are not just sounds. They carry energy, they shape our thoughts, and they define our reality. Every word we declare over our lives is like a seed planted in the soil of our hearts and minds. Some words produce a harvest of confidence, joy, and success, while others bring doubt, fear, and failure. What we continually speak, we begin to believe, and what we believe, we start to live out. Too often we underestimate the impact of our daily words. We casually say things like, I'm not good enough, I'll never succeed, or things never work out for me, not realizing that we are reinforcing those very beliefs in our subconscious. When spoken repeatedly, these words become chains that hold us back from our true potential. But when we change our words, we change our story. When we speak life, strength, and victory, we align ourselves with a higher purpose and a brighter future. Imagine a person who wakes up every morning and says, I am capable, I am strong, I am walking in favor. Over time, these words sink deep into their spirit, shaping their thoughts and actions. Their posture changes, their confidence grows, and they begin to see opportunities where they once saw obstacles. On the other hand, someone who constantly says, I can't do this, I always fail, or nothing good ever happens to me, is reinforcing a mindset of defeat. And that mindset will reflect in their decisions, their body language, and ultimately their outcomes. Words are not just expressions of how we feel, they are declarations of what we expect. They have creative power shaping our emotions, our relationships, and even our future. What we repeatedly tell ourselves becomes the truth we live by. That's why it is so important to guard our words carefully and choose to speak only those things that uplift, empower, and lead us toward growth. When we learn to use our words as tools for transformation rather than weapons of self-destruction, we step into a new level of awareness and purpose. Speaking positive, faith-filled words is not about ignoring reality or pretending that challenges don't exist. It's about shifting our perspective so that even in difficult times, we affirm our strength, resilience, and ability to overcome. Our words can either be the key that unlocks the door to success or the lock that keeps us trapped in limitation. The choice is ours. Transformation begins in the mind. The way we think determines the way we live. Every action, every decision, every reaction originates from the thoughts we allow to take root in our minds. If those thoughts are filled with doubt, fear, and negativity, they will shape our reality in ways that limit us. But if our minds are filled with truth, strength, and confidence, we will walk in a life of purpose, victory, and peace. So many people live trapped by their own thinking, believing lies that have been repeated so often they feel like truth. Thoughts like, I'm not good enough, I'll always struggle, or nothing ever changes for me, become mental chains that hold them back. But the mind is powerful, and just as it can be shaped by negativity, it can also be renewed with truth. It all begins with what we allow ourselves to think and believe. When we take control of our thoughts and replace negativity with words of faith and affirmation, we begin to break free from limiting beliefs. Instead of saying, I can't do this, we declare, I am capable and I have what it takes. Instead of dwelling on past failures, we affirm, my past does not define me. My future is filled with new opportunities. Little by little, these new thoughts reshape the way we see ourselves and the world around us. The mind works like a garden. Whatever we plant and nurture will grow. If we continually dwell on negative, discouraging thoughts, we are feeding weeds that will choke out our confidence and hope. But if we choose to plant seeds of encouragement, gratitude, and faith, we will cultivate a mindset that produces strength and joy. It doesn't happen overnight, but with consistency, transformation takes place. Renewing the mind is a daily commitment. It requires guarding against negativity, rejecting toxic thoughts, and intentionally speaking words of truth. It means surrounding ourselves with people, messages, and habits that reinforce the mindset we want to build. As the mind is renewed, life itself begins to change. Challenges no longer seem impossible. Setbacks become lessons, and what once felt like limitations turn into stepping stones for growth. True transformation is not about changing external circumstances first. It's about changing the way we think. And when the mind is renewed, everything else follows. Fear has a way of creeping into the mind, whispering doubts, magnifying obstacles, and convincing us that we are not enough. It tells us to hesitate, to play it safe, to shrink back instead of stepping forward. It is the voice that says, what if you fail? What if you're not good enough? What if everything falls apart? Fear thrives on uncertainty, feeding on every past disappointment, every insecurity, and every unknown outcome. But fear is a liar. It distorts reality, making challenges seem impossible and setbacks feel permanent. It keeps people stuck, afraid to take risks, afraid to dream, afraid to believe that a better future is possible. Fear thrives where faith is absent, but when faith steps in, fear loses its power. Faith is the confidence that even when the path is unclear, there is a way forward. It is the assurance that even when things don't go as planned, they are still working for a greater purpose. Faith is knowing that struggles are temporary, but strength is built through perseverance. Living with faith does not mean never feeling fear. It means choosing to move forward despite it. It means acknowledging the challenges, but believing in the possibility. Fear says, stay where it's safe. Faith says, step forward because greater things are ahead. Fear focuses on what could go wrong. Faith focuses on what could go right. The difference between a life filled with hesitation and a life filled with purpose is whether fear is given control or whether faith is allowed to lead. Faith rewires the mind to see possibilities instead of limitations. It replaces the question, what if I fail, with what if I succeed? It silences the doubts that say, I'm not ready, and affirms, I am growing, I am learning, and I am capable. Faith does not wait for perfect conditions. It steps forward even when the outcome is uncertain. It is the belief that no challenge is greater than the strength within. The moment faith is chosen over fear, life begins to change. Doors that seemed locked begin to open. Opportunities that once felt out of reach become possible. Courage replaces hesitation, and confidence replaces insecurity. Fear may still whisper, but it no longer controls the direction of life. When faith takes the lead, fear is left behind, and the journey toward purpose, growth, and success begins. The words spoken each day have a direct impact on the direction of life. They are not just sounds that disappear into the air. They are declarations that shape reality. What is spoken repeatedly is what the mind begins to believe. And what the mind believes is what life starts to reflect. This is why it is so important to be intentional with words, to speak what is wanted, not what is feared, to declare success instead of failure, and to affirm strength instead of weakness. When challenges arise, the natural instinct may be to speak frustration and doubt, to say this is too hard, or I'll never figure this out. But these words reinforce the struggle and make it even harder to move forward. Instead, speaking words of strength, I am capable, I will find a way, I am growing through this, shifts the perspective. It allows the mind to focus on solutions instead of obstacles, on possibilities instead of limitations. The words spoken become a guide, shaping actions, influencing decisions, and creating a mindset that attracts success. So many people live their lives repeating words that hold them back. They say, I'm always unlucky, and wonder why opportunities seem to slip through their fingers. They declare nothing ever changes for me, and find themselves stuck in the same cycle year after year. But the moment those words change, the moment a new declaration is made, doors are opening for me. I am stepping into new blessings. My future is bright. Everything begins to shift. Life starts aligning with the words that are spoken consistently. Speaking what is sought is not just about wishful thinking. It is about programming the mind for success. It builds confidence, strengthens determination, and creates a powerful sense of expectation. When words are aligned with a vision for the future, actions follow. The way one speaks influences the way one carries themselves, the way they pursue their goals, and the energy they bring into every situation. A person who constantly says, I am valuable, I am worthy, and I am destined for great things, will walk with a different presence than someone who says, I'm not good enough. Every word spoken is a seed planted for the future. If the words are filled with hope, faith, and determination, the future will reflect those qualities. If the words are filled with doubt and limitation, that is what will grow. Choosing words wisely, speaking with intention, and declaring victory even before it happens sets the stage for transformation. The words spoken today are shaping tomorrow. So it is important to speak boldly, to speak with faith, and to speak into existence the life that is truly desired. Real change does not happen overnight. It is not the result of a single effort or a moment of inspiration, but of small, consistent actions repeated over time. Every great achievement, every transformation, and every breakthrough is built on the foundation of persistence. It is not enough to declare a goal once and hope for the best. It is the daily commitment, the unwavering dedication to positive habits that shapes the future. Many people start with enthusiasm, but give up when they do not see immediate results. They affirm success for a few days, but then fall back into old patterns when nothing seems to change. But true growth requires patience. Just as a seed does not sprout the moment it is planted, the mind and life itself need time to adapt to new patterns of thinking and action. The power lies in consistency, choosing every day to speak words of strength, to take small steps toward a goal, and to trust that change is happening even when it is not yet visible.